the fuck? What the fuck did you just say, PewDiePie? Oh my god. I'm trying to put together a video here. The Flat Earth video seems promising, but I kind of got to the point where PewDiePie is like this center of internet. YouTube is as big as, you know, the major source of the internet, the major source of information or whatever, entertainment. This is where you go. At least I go to spend most of the time that I spend in the internet. So it would make sense that PewDiePie would take this responsibility and become this person who kind of stops gaming, in a sense, and starts looking into the memes, even reading, consuming just insane amount of material. Obviously, as a flat earther, I hope it's not a shock for you guys. As a flat earther, or at least leaning, right? I'm gonna give you guys an advice here, and obviously PewDiePie is taking the popular idea that this must be a ridiculous thing, but it's worth attention, right? Because it's growing. So as a person who cares about internet trends, PewDiePie has to respond to this and kind of make his jokes and his intimidating response or whatever. I don't know. I mean, in a way, he would want people to attach to him and be like, well, you have destroyed Flat Earth. It's just ridiculous. You have shown us good stuff that kind of makes Flat Earth absolutely ridiculous. For me, obviously, it's just stupid. The video is stupid for me as a flat earther, right? Because I know how things work in terms of how this idea has been developed. But here's my, again, and just to prove that this is what PewDiePie stands for. Not only he does this. Now, you can take the definition of crazy and say, like, crazy is like something that is, you believe in something that is hard to believe. Maybe you can stretch that definition a little bit, but I'm just playing around, guys. We're just having fun here, laughing at flat earthers. Well, again, that's kind of the idea of intimidation, isn't it? Right? Laughing at someone. Laughing at their strategy. What the fuck, right? Is this another parallel to Shikamaru's behavior? Because he would smirk on Tamari and Tamari wouldn't actually laugh at Tenten? I don't know. I think Shikamaru is a lot cooler than that. And now I found this interesting part. Oh, I didn't actually give you the advice. So if you have any doubt, which you should, whether the earth is flat or not, because the doubt is increasing. There is a much need to check the facts right now. Think about it this way. Can scientists lie? Yeah, they can. In fact, just because they can, just because they have such easy authority to tell whatever truth they come up with, they can influence. They have the influence. They can influence whatever narrative they want. And so they get the funding as well. It's like, yes, self-destruction isn't very a good strategy, but when everything that you work for isn't actually real, you would definitely fake it just to keep your job, keep yourself intact with, with the life that you have created. So the lies are just natural, right? People tend to lie. So you have to be very, very skeptical, and at the same time, take it as a marketing advice, right? Would you put, maybe I can turn the camera on myself. I don't know why I want to do that. Anyway, so take it as a marketing advice, because if you have Bitcoin and Ethereum and all kinds of coins coming up, and coin is basically a relationship between you and an idea, right? So if you invest in one coin and you see, oh, that's another good idea and another good idea, so you just keep on investing into different things that you think are good ideas, right? Obviously, you won't think that Earth is flat is a good idea at first, but if you really think about it, not only it bridges like an easy gap between humanity and God and the meaning of life, all of these things, these are very important things, and also makes Earth the center of attention. It makes it very simple. It makes it designed, so to speak. So flat Earth does open up for a lot of interesting other ideas. That's why I'm interested in it, and why I wouldn't let just people laugh at it, Anyways, that's kind of my advice, because you can put some eggs into flat Earth. Just make sure that you don't just lose friends over it. You don't try to argue too much for flat Earth. It's like, well, you have to admit to yourself, it's a cool idea. I'm gonna support it a little bit. I'm gonna accept that it's a thing. So this is my advice. This is my perspective on how flat Earth should be taken. As an idea, at least, at the very least, and as the idea that bridges to other interesting spiritual topics. Because it's very important. If you get depressed, science is not going to help you, right? Science is going to try to cure your symptoms, try to look into this systematically, but you will ignore the psychological impact. It's so psychologically interesting to explore flat Earth because of how people interact with each other, how much people learn about flat Earth, how much they dare to learn. Because some news organizations would do that, right? They would just think, oh, where's the edge? What happens if you just fall off? And they take very little of what the flat Earth idea is. They don't really educate themselves, and they make fun of it, but they're making fun of themselves because they take so little of what is fairly established right now, and as a pretty big conspiracy, but a pretty fair one. So it's very interesting to see these interactions between people, how much they take, how much they laugh at this subject, how much they defend. And all of these things kind of matter, and you can always ask why, right? It's very interesting. At the very least, not only this is like an interesting idea, but it's interesting how people interact with this idea and how much they dare to educate themselves if they have time. If you don't have time and all you can do is laugh, then in the end you have to kind of admit to yourself, well, I don't have time to look at this. This seems ridiculous, right? And you likely won't have time. I suppose I should make this video right? Just kind of the flat Earth side subject. Although there's something interesting else. You know, I'm trying to investigate PewDiePie's personality here. And he said this, which is really awkward.
You wanna run somewhere?
It's like water fighting water.
You wanna
That's like water fighting water. Can you believe this?
It's like water.
I don't know how deep that goes, but this is interesting. He referenced my system, right? In a way. Because I am saying that different personalities, you have different elements. And water fighting water. Let's see if he's true. I mean, in a way, it doesn't mean much because, you know, you can just take it as something that's not capable of harming, fighting another creature that is incapable of harming. So, I guess it's just a good analogy, I suppose. Anyways, take it for what it is. It's very interesting how PewDiePie evolves in the first place. And if there's anything wrong with PewDiePie, which I'm having this hunch, you know, I don't like it. I don't like his attitude towards certain things. I guess I have to compare him with all the possibilities of who could be the center of the internet, take this responsibility to consume content, and give a genuine pointer towards what people should look into, where people should aim their attention. I think you know, PewDiePie has climbed up here, but he might not be doing a good of a job, you know. And obviously, like, the first steps of whoever becomes the internet provider, in a way, the source of the internet, the first person is not going to be the best, and that's kind of my idea, right? Like, it has to be replaced, but it's mostly YouTube's responsibility to kind of show who's actually not just getting subscribers, but it's so weird, right? Because by getting subscribers, PewDiePie kind of proves that he can get attention and introduce internet to people. So there's a lot of complicated variables to take account when you want to measure how good a person is in doing this job of just introducing internet to people, introducing interesting things that you can explore. But again, it seems like he's taking the job and he's at least doing what he has to do. That's kind of interesting.